Back in my day, we had it a whole lot better in our gaming culture. The new kids of this generation don't have it nearly as good as my generation. Have you heard that before? Well, I am going to say that there are parts to my generation's gaming that were really cool, and maybe some of them were better, maybe some of them aren't better. But we're going to talk about some of the things that I got to grow up with as far as gaming culture that isn't really around today. So, before we get into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, go ahead and hit that bell notification button so you can be notified every single time that a new video drops, which for my long form is every single day at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So go ahead and check that out, guys. I'm really trying to build up the long form. Now, as far as certain things that have changed since I was a young lad who was into gaming, there's been quite a bit. See, when I came of age, I really saw that change from when video games were all about platforming games to then turning into more story-based type of games. So I really got to see this evolution of gaming, and with that, I got to see an evolution of the gaming culture itself. And one of the biggest things that I miss is just how special it was. How special it was to get a new video game. You know, it was a whole entire thing. You would go to the store, you would look around for just a super long time, and it was always me and my brother. We'd go in there, we'd argue over which type of game we wanted, and then finally we could only get one. So finally we agreed on one. We'd be like looking at the back, right? Just like, well, this is the type of guns that we get in this game. Oh, well, you know, this is a space game. Or hey, man, look at all these cars that we can drive in this game. And we'd have to plead our case. Finally, we'd go ahead and agree on one. And then we buy it, we get back into mom's car, and then the whole entire thing basically becomes just this almost a ritual. What we would always do was one of us would get to read the manual, which was the best part, by the way. And it was always my older brother who got to do that, because that was like this little kind of doorway into the gaming world. And every game back then came with a manual, which was really, really cool, because the manual would basically start giving you lore about the game. It would give you kind of a description of what this world was, especially games like Halo, which actually told you the different races of aliens that you would be fighting. It would always have like the different gun selection, the different weapon sandbox, the different type of vehicles or what have you, the different type of characters that you could cycle through. And it was something that got you really excited about the game. Then whoever didn't have the manual had to just go ahead and just stare at the box for the rest of the ride home, which was pretty much just like 3 different production stills on the back of the box, and it had a small little blurb that you just had to read over and over and over again for that 20-minute drive back home. But it was still this way to kind of get you hyped. You had to draw your own conclusions of what this game was going to be like, and it was just this fun type of thing to really get you into the game. And unfortunately, it's not like that anymore. Nowadays, you just go and hop onto the Xbox Marketplace, the PlayStation Marketplace, what have you, and you just buy a game, you download it, you wait for it to install, which can be really quick sometimes, and then you just start playing. And you know, there's just less magic with that, which is sad, man. And here's my thing too, like, you know, because I hate when everybody sounds like such a boomer and it's just like, oh, my generation was always, you know, the best generation. You know, we had it so much better. Because every generation is always going to say that. Every generation thinks that their generation was the best childhood or the best generation because that's the life that you lived. That's the perspective. That's your experience. And you don't have the experience of the next generation. So the things that is special to the next generation aren't special to you, right? So obviously you think that your childhood, your experience with gaming culture in this generation is obviously going to be better. But my thing on that is I just feel like it makes the video game less special. It takes away that magic feeling. It takes away that hype that you give yourself for it, right? Sometimes too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. And right now, the good thing that we have is just this very quick access that we have to video games where we can just basically have the instant gratification, right? We hop online, buy a video game, download it. There's no ritual to it. There's no magic behind it anymore, and that's kind of sad, right? And like I said, I know that the next generation, some of you guys who are watching this video, you guys have your own thing that is incredibly special to you. And you're probably looking at me and thinking, oh man, he didn't get to go through this. That really sucks for him. Just as I'm looking at you thinking, man, you guys didn't get to have this type of moment here. And that sucks for you. Another thing about gaming that I loved back in the day that is unfortunately becoming a relic of the past is split-screen multiplayer. Split-screen multiplayer was such a coliseum of chaos back in the day, right? You'd have people who are just like screaming at each other, right? There's rivalries that are being developed, but also too you'd have those guys who were like yelling at each other for screen cheating. Screen cheating was a thing, right? Where you just look at the other person's screen, judge on where he was on the map, then go and follow him. There was always that guy who was too good, who was way ahead of everybody else. So then finally, after like 3 rounds, the whole entire group just turned on him like, hey, Peter can't play Halo 2 anymore. He's too good. I won't play if Peter's playing. And, that was a thing, man. Like, it was this group special thing. And, like, obviously we see a lot of games with multiplayer, but it's so ironic that in a world that is more connected than ever, we are so, so disconnected. And, I mean, I remember, too, just back, like, 15 years ago, online multiplayer, like, right around that 2007 to 2012 era, right? Online multiplayer back then was incredibly different as it is now. Back in the day when you had just these lobbies that were so much different, and don't get me wrong, they were incredibly toxic. But it was also too like, with a lot of the matchmaking that I'm in nowadays, it really judges on your skill, which don't get me wrong, that's a benefit. But I remember back in the day, it wasn't like that. You had one group of people that you loaded into with, and they just kept on playing every single game that you got into. I'll hop into an MCC Halo match now, and I get, just kicked around from different types of lobbies to different types of lobbies, right? I'm not playing with the same guys more than at least 2 maps. But back in the day, you'd play with some of these guys all night. And I remember I actually started developing this kind of weird online group for Halo 4 when that came out. And I was playing Halo 4 like crazy just every single day. And there was this one night in particular where there was this group that I just kept on getting spawned with, that I kept on getting teamed up with. And we started to develop kind of a way of communicating without being able to talk because none of us had mics. So we would have to kind of go through some weird body language thing, and we were all hopping onto the Warthog together. And the thing is that we all developed a friendship. We all ended up adding each other by the end of that night. And we were playing with each other for, I want to say, about 2 years before things just kind of faded away. I don't think I ever said one verbal word to them. But I played with those guys for about 2 years. If I saw them online, I immediately hopped into their game. If they saw me online, they immediately invited me, hey, let's get together and all that, right? But we never actually said a word to each other. I have no idea what these people sound or look like, but we developed a deep friendship online just through Halo alone. And it's something that I'm still talking about 15 years later, man. That's a special thing. But multiplayer split screen, that was awesome. It was a great thing, because that was something, too, that me and my brother, we really bonded over. We would play split screen, co-op, split screen, head-to-head. And it was something that, you had your direct rival right there. You'd be talking trash with them and all that, right? It was a fun time. But also, too, for split screen co-op, it was somebody directly right there who's in the shit with you. He has to do the game with you. He has to get through the hard parts with you. And now you have to really kind of focus on teamwork. You have to problem solve together. And that was a really, really cool thing. I miss what gaming used to be like. And I know that's just part of, me being a victim of nostalgia. There's a lot of parts to my childhood that I miss. Because maybe those are the better parts of my childhood that made me feel safe, so I want to go back to that. I remember so many nights over at my friend's house playing split screen multiplayer on Modern Warfare 2. Just having the time of our lives. And those are great, amazing memories. Being a kid playing the Halo series with all my friends, with my brothers, split screen, huddled around the couch, got a 2-liter of Pepsi, got some pizza with us. That was the funnest thing ever. And it's not like that anymore. You know, split screen, it is here and there in some games now, but it's slowly fading away. I wouldn't say slowly, it's very quickly fading away. And that's a very sad thing. So for all of you out there who maybe aren't into older games yet or anything like that, maybe you're just getting into gaming, maybe you're on the younger side, and you're into modern games, I highly recommend, man, take some multiplayer games back from the day, the 90s, early 2000s. Give them a shot. Invite your friends over. Have a fun time. Whether it's GoldenEye, all right? I was playing GoldenEye 64. It was my bachelor party. We're in San Francisco. We're in this hotel. And my buddies brought an N64. It was either the N64 or the Switch. We set it up. We put on GoldenEye 64, and we're just having the time of our lives. And then it got to a point where we one of us idiots decided, hey, let's go ahead and do slappers only. We're gonna it's not gonna be a time limit. It's gonna be the first to 20. Do you know how hard it is to get up to 20 kills on slappers only in N64? Because we do. It was very, very difficult. Very difficult. Go and grab a GoldenEye 64, a Mario Party 64, Halo 2. I guess Modern Warfare is now considered a classic game because GameStop they classified Xbox 360 as a retro gaming console now. So I guess Modern Warfare 2 counts in this end. I remember one game that me, my brother, and my sisters really bonded over was 007 Nightfire. We would go to one map in particular. It was the snowy map. There was 2 bases in it. And me, my brother, and my sisters would all get on the same team, and we would go up against the AI that we set up. And we would get those tracking missiles, and we would just start friggin' firing off the missiles all at these guys. And those were some really amazing special bonding moments. You know, I mean, like I know there's a lot of people that just don't understand that in particular, right? Now, there's a lot of people that aren't into video games who are just like, video games are there for, they're for younger people, right? Like you're a grown adult, right? I've heard that before. But those were memories where me and some of the people that I love the most in this world all got to sit around, just be together, and just be in this moment together with the utmost focus on that moment. Just pure connectedness. And man, do I wish that I could just have just one more day of that. Those are the special gaming moments that I got brought up on. Those are the special gaming moments that I wish you could have. You guys who are younger, who are in the next generation. I think you guys have at least some version of that, which is nice, but I wish that you could have those real special bonding moments of split screen, just being on the couch, just fighting each other, right? There's some games that have that, but like I said, a lot of them are quickly going away, all right? Anyway, guys, let me know something that is deeply special to your gaming culture in the comment section. Guys, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that bell notification button as well. Doing that will let you know any single time that I upload a video, which for my long form is every single day at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So don't miss out. And guys, before we go, I just want to let you all know that this video is being sponsored by Grifter's Cola. Grifter's Cola. The antidote is sold separately. Why would the antidote be sold separately? Why does it need an antidote at all?